that one. Now, last year, Joy News' Upper East Regional Correspondent Albert told the stories of two disabled persons, Samuel Akoyage, a university graduate at Wale Wale, who was nearly begging for alms to survive despite his university education, and Joseph Atanga, a 24-year-old who suffered cerebral palsy at birth and stayed confined to his home under deplorable conditions almost all his life. Following the two stories, an American philanthropist, Michelle McGowan, came to the aid of the two, helping Samuel to start a livestock farm and constantly helping Joseph with basic necessities to enable him live a more decent life. In the latest development to the story, Michelle McGowan has put up a more decent home for Joseph in his hometown of Sirigu, using Samuel as a coordinator for the building project. Upper East correspondent Albert has been following the story in our report.
Joseph suffered cerebral palsy at birth. The condition made his limbs stiff, and therefore he cannot move about on his own. His speech is also partially impaired. In Joseph's hometown of Sirigu, children born with his kind of condition were often labeled spirit children and killed. But Joseph's family was unwilling to kill him under the label of a spirit child. When Joy News visited Joseph for the first time in January 2015, he was very dirty. His poor family could not properly take care of him. After Joy News aired his story, it caught the attention of American philanthropist Michelle McGowan, who has some charities in Ghana. Michelle then visited Joseph at Sirigu on 2 occasions with food supplies, toiletries, and clothing. As time went on, I told Michelle the story of Samuel Akoyage at Wale Wale, whose news story had been aired on Joy News a month before Joseph's. Samuel was begging for alms to survive despite successfully graduating from the University of Education, Winneba. Michelle took Samuel also on board and helped him with some capital to start rearing livestock, through which he has built a shop yet to be stocked. This year, Michelle decided to put up a new home for Joseph and his family at Sirigu because their old home was dilapidated. She put Samuel in charge of Joseph's building project.
It was through Joy FM, a news story that you had on YouTube. Somebody told me that I needed to see this Samuel. I saw his story, that he was a university graduate from Winneba. However, he couldn't find employment because of his disability. So I gave him the money to start his own business. I heard the story about Joseph was also through Joy FM. The first thing that came to mind was, how can I help this guy? He has a different kind of disability than Samuel has. But Samuel is so capable that he was my go-to person whenever I found out about Joseph. How can we help him? So our initial idea was to drill a water well for him, but we found out there was one already on the property. So the brothers asked that we reconstruct the home because it was in a very debilitated state. So I contributed $1,000 of my own money and raised funds for the other portion. And we're here today to build a house for Joseph.
Samuel told Joy News he was happy to help a fellow physically challenged person.
I got in touch with Michelle through Joy News story carried out by their correspondent, Mr. Albert. And then through this, I have received tremendous support from her.
10 days later, work was over, and this beautiful 4-room building replaced the old dilapidated structure Joseph and his family once lived in. In addition, Michelle McGowan put up a pen with 2 pregnant pigs as a source of income for Joseph's family. She spent a total of 3 nights at Joseph's village home together with Samuel, who spent the entire 10-day duration of the project in Sirigu, dozens of miles away from his home in Wale Wale.
Joseph is completely dependent on his senior brothers for everything, for cleaning, feeding, everything. So we want to create something for the family to make some money so that they can very excellent care of Joseph so that he can live a long, healthy, and very happy life.
Great story there, and thank you, Bishop McGowan. Now, one of the stories I've been talking about all evening